Yeah. Cool. Welcome everyone to EIP Editing Office Hour Meeting 67. This is issue number 1633 on Ethereum/PM GitHub repository. Today we are joined by ERC editor Victor Zhou, but this session will include the review of both EIPs as well as ERCs for consideration. Maybe we can start with the first PR, for which we have the author joined here. I'm going to share the link here in the chat, and the number is PR number 1140. The proposer is Anushka Yadav. She's on the call. So Victor, please feel free to share your screen and we can go ahead with it.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm somehow try to connect my screen to a different screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's perfect.
It's in EIP editing office hour, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, let me go ahead, and then I think we're reviewing 1124, right?
No, we are looking at 1140
because author is here, 40.
Yeah, that is the first one on ERC draft.
This one, right?
That's correct, yep.
Okay. Purpose-bound ERC 20. Since the author is here, love to kind of get author to briefly introduce this this pull request, this new proposal. Hi, is author here?
Hi. So like we are trying to build like time-bound something on ERC20. So we have created that interface.
Okay, so you mentioned time-bound, and then it's I think showing on the proposal is purpose-bound, right? So probably
Yes, and
you,
like
in addition to time-bound,
yes,
you also expanded the goal
yes,
to other things. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, a little bit more of an introduction about this proposal, like the key design, the key choice that you made, the key choice that you try to avoid, basically, like you decided not to put in, is always something I look for. Uh, can you hear me? If you're speaking, I think we couldn't hear you, so maybe you need to unmute or check your audio input.
Yeah.
Pooja, can you hear them?
Yes, we can hear you, Victor, very well. Anushka, we are curious if you have any particular question for this proposal or you just want the
No,
proposal
no.
to be reviewed and get the EIP number.
Yes, I want that should be get reviewed. No questions as such.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was asking you to kind of give introduction about this EIP, maybe verbally, since you are here, right? Otherwise, you could have just sent it over through a link and then we'll begin reviewing it. So I was wondering if you
Uh,
can kind of introduce the design, and then specifically, it's interesting that what you choose not to do in this design.
like we are also here to know the process, like what will happen after this review. So that's the reason we have joined actually.
I have a hard time hearing you. Okay, I if you won't be able to give a lot of introduction, I can go and start reviewing it. Just the first thing I will look into is whether there are existing EIP or ERCs that's addressing the similar problem, and whether you attempted to research and then see if you want to reuse, adopt them, or if you have any new proposal that's different and then cannot be addressed by existing one. I think is an like time-based locking is a common situation, and we already have a few ERCs. I think that is. So if you have you done the research on these on other ERCs that's addressing similar issues?
Yes, for time bound we checked there are a few, but for purpose based we haven't found anything.
So what is the difference between purpose bound versus other ones? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I think it is like co-authored by multiple authors, so I'm not sure like if this individual may have all the responses, so perhaps we can give it a look, and if it fulfills all the primary criteria, may be able to provide them the numbers so they can iterate, and we'll come back on when the proposal tries to move to the review section.
Sounds good. Okay, I think I'll leave a comment on this one about for a draft, please research into existing ERCs that are relevant and solving similar problems. Identify them and see if there is a chance to reuse existing one, or if not, in the state why this is a new approach, new problem, or new approach that needs a new standard. How's that? Is I would usually leave it this way as my review. But if you can answer on the spot, that's easier because I've not seen significant research into prior ERCs.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I wonder if we would be in a position to assign any number, like if this proposal doesn't seem to be a duplicate proposal, we could perhaps provide them a number even if it is not merged, so they can keep on working.
I would be a little bit cautious about assigning a number while it's an unfinished draft. So
Hey Victor,
That's fair.
hello. Am I audible?
yeah, but I love
Yeah.
to hear
So
the response. Yeah.
I'm also one of the co-authors in the same ERC. So basically, we wanted to know, as Anushka told, we just wanted to know the process right now, and whether you assign the number or not. That's not a problem for our side. Like how it went from here to next steps, and we'll be considering to iterate over it.
Yeah. Once you get the draft finished, and then we will assign a number, and then we will adopt it as a draft, and we will include them in as a draft and publish it onto our general output
Yeah.
outlet like EIPs.ethereum.org. And then from
Yes.
there, you will continue to attract people for review, feedback, and
Mhm.
adoption until you feel like it's good enough to begin reviewing it as a like proposed standard. And so that
Mhm.
you at that time you move the status from draft to
Ah,
review, continue to
yes.
collect more feedback, and once you feel that's ready, usually a
Mhm.
few weeks, you've filed a pull request to move it to last call, give it another month, and then we will finalize it basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to answer your starting question, there were no duplicate around this, and as Anushka told, like there were some time-bound things, but there were none around the proposal-bound things. So basically, proposals are something like where you are given a, something like a receipt or something, and that will be, diluted within some time. So that is something we are after. So we'll be iterating over it and we'll let you know.
Yeah, I think it's more about researching into prior other ERCs and EIPs about what solutions has been done and then why this needs a new one. Just because it's a purpose
Mhm.
is less convincing that it needs a new ERCs, right? Like what specific approach this could not be what specific use cases would be a good one that only can use this ERC but not the time bound or additional other bounds? I think that's the question. Yeah,
Okay.
and the fact that these research is limited here is making it
Mhm.
a little bit hard for other people. The whole purpose of having ERC request for comments is that people will come together and try to adopt and move the entire ecosystem and smart contracts specifically forward, like by everyone adopting standards. And the purpose is not always to create new standards. If there is something existing works, new standards is not necessary, and it can definitely can sometimes be harmful actually. So always research into what's available and see if you can adopt the existing one, and if not, then it's I think the motivation is to clear state that these existing relevant EIP ERCs are like restricting or limiting or doesn't address this problem that we're solving here. And that's why we're proposing a new standard. Because the next step is getting people to adopt them. And then when you ask people to adopt, they will have a fair check of all other ERCs, whether they are available or not, and decide whether they will use them or not.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you, Victor, for your time. We'll iterate over it and let you know in the comments as well.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Pooja.
Cool. So when you finish up adding the comment here. Maybe we can take up the next PR here, which is 1124 to move the proposal to the last call.
Okay. Let me check.
I'm sharing the link here in the chat for reference.
Oh, okay. Let me share. Seven, 913, right?
That's correct.
Yep, interface for verifying signatures by addressless keys.
We don't have the author on the call. We can perhaps take a look for the changes and whether it is ready or not to move into the last call. I see Mercy has a hand up. Mercy, you want to add or share something here?
Yeah, I wanted to add something. In terms of adoption, just friends
Mercy, are you
to
talking? So 1 second. Are you talking about this ERC 7913, or are you talking about something new?
no, something different. I'm trying to reference back to the previous ERC we just reviewed.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, so
So I wanted
adoption is not
to.
required for draft. Adoption is not
Oh
required for draft. Yeah, but my feedback is to research
no,
into existing ERCs.
I'm trying to pass on a message. If he's looking, I'm trying to say, if he's looking for people, wallet devs to look into his ERCs or other authors of ERCs, if they're looking for people's opinion and also to get more, what will I say, in-depth technical review on ERCs, he can actually go to the wallet Discord, Ethereum wallets Discord. I think it's being handled by Sam Wilson. That's like a good place to properly get
That's a good
views
yeah.
from.
That's a good place to get feedback. Yeah, that's right.
What I wanted to point out.
Right. Good point. I think that's a very good suggestion for the previous one. Thanks for mentioning that, Mercy. Yeah, so for the author group of the previous ERC, the goal is to get to have people work together. Like ERC is a way to get people to work together. So research in what's before you, and then you will also expect other people will research when they try to propose something after you, and then they should also look at whether your ERC already solved their problem. What Mercy suggested is a good one. The wallet work group is definitely something you can try to go and ask. You should also ask other channels. This is a decentralized collaboration, so many other venues you can go and ask for feedback.
Okay,
Yeah.
Victor.
Yeah, and specifically EIP and ERC editing is less about technical feedback. Like we actually don't give you like whether this standard is good or not, whether we should add this particular field or function or not. Like we're not in a position of giving you this feedback here on this call or when we wear the editor hat. The editor ensures the process take into consideration of what needs to be in the ERC content, right? Like whether you do research, whether you clearly define the interface and specification, whether you think about risk. Like we want to make sure items and each of the content sections have the content they need to be in. And then we move the status once we see the consensus in the community. That's basically what we do. When we give you technical feedback like, hey, maybe this could benefit from one additional field or one additional parameter, maybe you should rename it in a different way. these are optional. These are not editorial. Editorial would block you from moving status, but optional technical feedbacks are we are just giving you peer feedback. And usually I personally give it on Ethereum magicians.org forum because technical feedback happened there. And you were the driver and champion to make the technical decision.
Understood. That's a great advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So is there any questions about the previous ERC, which is unnamed? A way to name your ERC is that when you don't have a number yet, you can give it a short 1 or 2 word describing what it is. For example, purpose-based ERC20. Like you can give it that name, like as a placeholder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Understood. I will keep that in mind, and thanks for the Discord link as well, Mercy. We'll check that out also. Okay, man. Thanks.
Yep. Okay, if no other questions for the previous ERC, here is the new ERC I have checked. And then also the discussion shows that people were implementing adoptions. And then in Open Zeppelin, usually means that they also get good reputation and be adopted by additional other smart contract developers and users. So I think this is ready to go for the last call. The only thing is that the last call deadline probably needs to be another week or another 4 weeks.
2 weeks, 14 days more.
14 days update to 14 days from now, probably. So I think it's August, like something like 12 or 13. Yeah, right? Yeah. And other than that,
12th of August, yes.
Yeah, other than that, should look good. This is the last call. Yeah, should be good.
Cool. The next one that we would like to review here is PR number 1125, and we are joined by the author here, Dario. Yeah.
Hi, Dario.
Hey, team.
1125. Okay, you already put the link here. And let me share. So 7943, right? Move to review.
Yeah. It already got a lot of traction in the Ethereum Magician, so I guess it's time to move to review already.
Nice. Okay. This is the part when I need to give a more detailed look. Universal RWA interface.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute. Does it? Uh-oh. I don't know if this needs to be updated or not. It just got approved. Yeah, I think the bot shouldn't approve it right away. So Portia, can you do us a favor to kind of ask Sam whether we should apply this date here because it got merged already?
I suppose the reason why it got merged is because there is no change suggested. In case of any suggested change, they would have waited for the new date to come.
Okay. I thought I gave suggested change. That was my understanding too, and then I thought that I get suggested.
Date change. Okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and then yeah, so maybe the bot works a different way today.
Okay.
Let
Yeah,
me
but
go.
probably what I saw from there is that you left the comment, but you also approved it.
Approved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposedly approve it. We'll wait for but that's fine. Yeah, I think it used to work that way that you can approve and then they will suggested change, and then once everything is addressed, it go through. Yeah.
Yeah, unless we have any specific reason to maybe like withhold that proposal, we can perhaps let it go and let's wait for the author to come back to make the proposal to move into final.
Yeah, that sounds good. We can block on the final side to make sure it waits for 14 days.
Okay. I noticed William
Okay.
is trying to mention something here. William, if you would like to chime in.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. I understand that you've got a good magician's thread
Frozen.
going. Sorry?
We can hear you, William.
Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, fine. I understand that they've got a good magician's conversation going. I am seeing that there's another RWA proposal, which apparently
Can you hear?
is.
I think you're breaking up.
I'm breaking up?
No, William is sounding fine for all of us, Victor.
Oh, so maybe that's me. So maybe you can you repeat it just for me? I'm sorry. For a minute you were like on and off.
Oh, sure. I was just saying that it does seem to be another RWA proposal, except now that I'm looking at it, it looks like it is still in draft as opposed to review. I hadn't realized the site puts also scrapes the drafts these days. But I mean, naturally, kind of my first thought is how many do we need? It could be that there's significant difference, but I'm curious, are you aware of other standards that are implementing this? Like are trying to implement an RWA interface?
So here's the thing. A lot of people come here with, let's say, a very generic word that's sometimes even overloaded, overused in media. And we're a technical community, so when people say RWA, they meant a lot of things. So a technical proposal usually give it a name that like describe the technicality of this proposal, and then they can mention these media words in, let's say, the motivation. For example, a real problem is that sometimes asset needs to be frozen, right? So there would be, for example, an interface says like we should agree on what is considered frozen or not, right? How do people get notified for frozen activities? So I think the title could change in more generic, because RWA is gonna have a lot of behaviors that we need to kind of think, right? So that's the first thing I'd maybe consider retitle it, is my feedback, to more specific like technicalities, which is, I think, like description side is good. Now the thing is that, for example, for Frozen, you will find people use lock, and then there's already ERC for lock. Maybe I don't know if you touch expiration, but if you touch expiration, there will be ERC that has expirations. So you should come up with a strategy to consider adopting theirs, and then maybe add upon them, or says that this needs to be changed, and because, for example, we believe you should order the user first instead of the token ID first, etc. Now, one thing is that this adopt for 1155, right? What if people want to do hierarchical? If you use the generic terms of RWA, this is gonna solve one thing for all RWA. Someone's gonna tell you, okay, this doesn't solve our RWA, and so maybe you should consider change it.
It
So
only
I think
requires 165. I think you should be able to use it agnostically, no?
what? So say it again.
It only requires 165. It looks like it's token standard agnostic.
Oh,
Yeah,
mm,
this is
you're talking about the interface, the supports, once in
The
five
interface
being the
itself,
yeah the
because he has to
support.
give an example. But if you look at the abstract and the initial metadata, so it only requires 165. It's I mean, he states in the abstract that's agnostic.
No, I think we're talking in a different problem. My problem is, my question for you is that have you seen that you asked me if there's other relevant ERCs that we know that may be relevant to this one, right?
I was my primary question there was directed at the author if there's a possibility to fold this into other existing propositions by proposals or
Yeah,
not.
yeah. Whether you can use other exposed proposals to kind of use, like, let's say someone adopt another ERC that address lock or expiration or forced transfer. I don't know, like, have you checked that? I might have to look into it, but I think there's some ERC that's doing lock or lock extension, for example, lockables, right? For example, let's say if someone adopt that, would that ERC, would your ERC stop working? Like if people adopt yours, they would not work with that one, or vice versa. So that's the question you need to answer, I think.
I suppose Dario and Mercy has hands up. Dario, you want to add something over here?
Yeah, sure. From what I understand from the question is that there are many RWA standards out there being proposed. Two prominent ones probably are the 3643 and 7518. But it's mentioned in the in my EIP proposal. There is in the motivation a justification of why this is apart from the already existing one, and mainly it's because it is compatible with main token standards, not just one, compared to others. And there's also a section in the description about choices on naming to make it more compatible with already existing standards that overlap a bit. But you can follow up on the Ethereum Magician because there's an active discussions on how to make it the most compatible with other existing propositions without reinventing the wheel again.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the purpose. Like, let's try to work together on the standards, and then that's try to not reinvent the wheel. So let me double check the review feedback.
Okay, I have a random question. Is there like can we have something that bundles all these ERCs rather together to help authors and then reviewers and people that are actually interested in the ERC process to quickly differentiate between various ERCs that we already have, so that we don't keep reinventing the wheel somehow? Because I've seen cases where I think I had this discussion with Sam where there was two ERCs that literally more like they're the same in a way. So it's there a way to like streamline the process where it will be easier for the authors to skim through the ERCs, the already implemented ERCs, or ERCs that already maybe they are in progress of implementation, so that they can like have a quick look. Because most of the time it won't be easy to tell an author to go through all the existing ERCs. I think that would be a tedious work. Or I don't know if I'm making sense on this.
Yeah, I think if there's a way to bundle these ERCs, that would be great. And that was the purpose. Like, if everyone comes in and then start a new ERC for the same problem and almost the same solution, just different, slightly different naming or different strings of the function or parameters orders, that's not only unproductive but also damaging, because it's reduced the chance that people will actually use the same way, right? Assuming someone come in and with ERC20 and then another one, someone come in as with ERC21, and one is transfer, one is send, they should work together. Like, unless there's a compelling reason to have another ERC21 addressing the same problem, they should try to work together. That's the purpose. And then if they couldn't agree, then the disagreement should be made very clear. That's why they choose to have a separate ERC. So yeah, this is a lot of discussion, and let me see. Okay, Javier and Time. Tino is responding. Okay. So at this point, I would go and get a ChatGPT to summarize the opinions the people expressed on this. Let's see, so that I can have a fast review. Minimum, okay. Can you see my screen?
We can see
Yep.
the Fellowship of Ethereum Magician page, yes.
Okay. Cool. I think the amount of people's response is good enough to call this as a review, because the goal is to get people to start reviewing them, and whether you have actively updates. Okay, 2 weeks ago. So this should be stable enough now, right? I will have some technical participation on this as well, but as an editor, I think this is good enough. I would encourage you to add more motivations in mentioning other efforts that you can potentially reuse or choose not to reuse, because that makes your argument better. But for the moving to review, I think this is good.
Yeah, thanks. That's the whole purpose.
Yeah.
I already gathered some feedback, but I want to have this in review so I can push for more engagement and more feedback from all over the ecosystem. But yeah, thanks for that.
Victor, unfortunately, we are seeing just a blank screen. I don't know if you would like to reshare.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Mm-hmm.
By the way, do
Yeah.
you feel there's the need to mention other ERCs in the EIP itself, or in the ETH Magician alone?
You can mention it in ETH Magician in the main page. Ideally, we should add it to the actual content of the ERC. Now, the technicality of this part is that if you add something that's not like a status later, then you will get blocked from moving to that status. For example, if someone else is having something in draft and you quote them here, it's gonna block you from moving it to the next step, which I
right.
personally don't think it's a good idea, but that's how our bot currently works. And so you should at least add them to the discussion. And I've seen that you've added them to the discussion, so that's good. Consider it like summarizing and updating your main first section, because everyone is going to add to the first section. So you can always treat it as a source of source of truth of like the latest version and what's considered.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah, thank you for the great work. I think this is a great starting point for people to start realize, okay, RWA needs effort together. Yeah, and then need a standard.
Thank you for your feedback.
Yeah, appreciate that. And thanks for the contribution to the community.
Very well. We have two more proposals for last call. Maybe we can begin with the PR number 1134, which is there to be moved to the last call.
Yeah, and do we have authors to this one, or do we have other authors on this one that we should prioritize author being here?
We don't have author for this particular PR, and I wonder if any new author who has just joined are waiting for their PR to be reviewed. Please feel free to drop it in the chat.
Yeah, if you are here in person, and we will prioritize you because it's more productive to discuss with you while you are live. Okay, if no one yet, let me go ahead and review the last call. Last call.
I've shared the link in the chat. The PR number is 1134.
Yeah, okay, let me share the screen. Inheritance. I'm not sure. I don't know if that needs a separate ERCs. But it goes to last call. So let me get, oh, okay. So it's wheel. Okay, handles inheritance of all token. So, okay, it actually get entire wheel stuff. Yeah, that dude needs an ERC. So let's see. Backward compatibility test cases. Reference implementation. Yeah, this probably needs to be in bequeathable. Okay. So, yeah. Let me check the reference implementation. This is a little bit weird. Let me see. Okay, all these are not in the, it seems not in the reference implementation. The reference implementation was out of date. If I understand it correctly.
would that matter if the reference implementation is out of date? Because we just need to share an implementation for reference.
I think reference implementation is part of the ERC. If you share the reference implementation, like it's okay that your reference implementation is not right, but the interface that you share in the reference implementation contradicts your final version, so that needs to be updated. So if you can see this, I think 7878, right? Okay, sorry about that. Maybe I saw the wrong one. Okay, so this actually is the one. So let me go and check. Yeah. Okay, so this seems right because the previous one was weird. Yeah, minor. That's okay. Yeah. Oh, it's so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Seems like this is good. Let me go back to the last call and prove it. Alrighty, congrats.
Very well.
Okay, what about the next one?
So we have one last one here for the last call review. The PR number is 1138.
Let me go to my link.
I shared it in the chat, yeah.
This is very relevant to the previous one as well. I think no one is actually reviewing it. This probably needs more review feedback. Yeah, to move to the last call. Currently, there is not very limited feedback on Magi. Consider lacking reviews. Please solicit more reviews. Ideally, adoptions or people willing to adopt. Yeah. Well, actually, that's my, yeah. Yep, that's the response to this feedback, this ERC.
Very well. So we have got one more proposal to be reviewed or to be moved to the reviewed status. The PR number is 1095.
1095.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, draft to review. Okay. Draft to review. That's when it's bring data assets online digital products to NFT, ensure their integrity through digital data asset and number.
Victor, we can't see your screen here.
Okay. Let me present. Yeah, I would say go and check for other ERCs. There's definitely more ERCs addressing the same problem. You see my screen?
Yes, we can. Very well. Then perhaps we can drop a note and keep it for today because we are approximately reaching time. We may not be able to finish the next one.
Please research into existing ERCs for relevant topics and add to the motivation. Yeah. Yep, that's my feedback.
Thank you so much, Victor, for joining us here today. And for people who are watching this, we would come back with another editor's office hour next Tuesday at 1600 UTC. In the meantime, you can reach editors on ECH Institute's Discord. The channel is EIP Editor, or maybe leave your PR for the next agenda and comment. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here today.
Thank you, Pooja. Thank you, Eth. cat herder.
Okay, bye-bye.